for visiting with us. I have Joy Botting here with me, and she's going to help us learn a little bit more about the internet marketing world. I appreciate her being here. She just got online, and I know why, because she's one of those people who crams 2 days of work in a morning in her house. So I know that she's really busy, and I appreciate her being here. Joy, could you introduce yourself to us and kind of tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, no problems. Thanks very much, Kent. Thanks for the invitation to be on here with you. Really looking forward to sharing what I can. I was going to say sharing my wisdom, but it's only wisdom to people however they perceive it. So hopefully I will be able to share with your audience some things that will help them in their own online business and where they are currently in their journey. So I am an Australian, and I started my online business career about 2.5 years ago. I bought straight into an affiliate program, and within the month I went as high as I could be, which for us Australians was around about a $35,000 investment. So there was a lot of skin in the game, so to speak. In my journey, I have always tried to attend events wherever I could, and that has proved invaluable to my business, because people that I connected with at the very first event in Fiji, I can pick up the phone to Vince Reed and Dagan Smith because they were there at the time, and have made some incredible connections, not only with those guys, but a lot of other people that I still work with on a day-to-day basis. So that has really leapfrogged my success in the business. I also am very passionate about helping other people, and I have a couple of Facebook groups where I spend quite a bit of time in there at no cost. I also have private coaching students, but my aim is to help as many as I can. And that's pretty much for two reasons. Firstly, I remember what it was like when I first started, and I didn't actually make any money online for about 7 months. And that was an incredible journey for me. It was pretty tough at the time, but what that has meant is that I've been able to not only keep that in my mind when I'm dealing with other people who have only just started their business, but also it gave me incredible commitment and drive to succeed, because I had no choice. I had to come up with about $6,500 per month to keep up my status in that affiliate program. But it's also taught me exactly what I did wrong. So I'm able to share that and with other people, and basically fast track their rise to success. The third component of that is I perfected a way of communicating with people on social media, which I still use today, and I teach as well. So, and I'm not, I'm giving you a snapshot of my journey and what it's led to and why I do what I do now. None of that was a pitch. It was all just showing you that when I get contacted by people every day, and they too have invested a huge amount of money, and they're not getting success or results in sales, then I feel their pain. And so basically what I do every day, my mission every day, is to help as many people through that as I can. I had people help me along the way, so it's my turn to give it back, so to speak. From then, once I did start getting it right and started earning money, then it's been a fantastic journey since then. Reached a level of success I'm content with, but certainly not happy with. I've always got my next targets that I want to reach each and every month and improve each and every month. And my business has enabled me to not have a paid job for the last 2.5 years, and also to travel the world. So currently I'm living in Thailand. There is incredible business opportunities here in Southeast Asia. Thailand is a bit of a hub. Even though I'm living in Pattaya, I'm only 2 hours away from Bangkok, a huge, obviously, airport. And I'm meeting some incredible people. So it's the freedom that I guess everybody is after, the freedom to make whatever choices they want to make. And so that's what I'm now able to do. And hopefully I'm able to pass some of my wisdom and my knowledge on so that other people can do the same thing.
So you've been talking about some of the advantages of being in internet marketing and working online. what about the disadvantages? What kind of things do you consider disadvantages to being online that you've had to overcome?
Disadvantages, obviously, we hear a lot about bright, shiny objects. So it's very easy to get yourself busy, but not getting any traction. So, with good copyright, you can almost be convinced into buying anything that comes along. And every product that you see will promise you great things. But there comes a time where you need to say enough is enough, that you have enough things on your shelf and that you know that some of them are going to work and some won't, and to stop getting caught up in the bright shiny objects and stop throwing money where it isn't doing much value for you. The other negatives to having an online business is sometimes it's difficult to get support from your family and friends. A lot of people that I talk to, they can't talk about it to their people in their close relationships because of the negativity or the disbelief. And quite often there comes a time where you need to step away from people who are doing damage to your mindset. And that can be really difficult if it's family members or friends. But on the other hand, that's a really important step to make, to remove yourself, try and remove yourself as best you can from any negativity. So in that case, it would be to not discuss your business. My family still don't know what I do. They ask me constantly. I just say, oh, look, I just sell stuff on the internet. And that's enough of a reply to them. But I've been fortunate where my family have been extremely supportive and my kids are extremely supportive. Um, Obviously, one of the biggest disadvantages is not having enough money for traffic. So you need to be really focused on what you want to achieve. You can learn different methods that don't involve spending a lot of money when it comes to getting traffic. And they are successful ways to promote your business, but can take a lot longer time. But when you run out of traffic, when you run out of money for traffic, it's important that you just keep still taking action every single day, even if it's free traffic methods rather than paid. So yeah, the never ending hand in your pocket, it's hard to overcome, but you just keep pushing through and you'll get to the other side with drive and dedication. Anyone can do this.
So you mentioned the bright shiny object
Yeah.
problem. Um, what? How do you handle all the hype you get? No matter what you're doing online, you're just getting bombarded with information and
Yeah.
advertisements, and like you said, some of them are very good. Um,
Yes.
how do you pick and choose what you use for your business?
One of the reasons why I wasn't earning any money for the first couple of months while I was online was because I was subscribed to every single list that I came across. I was watching 2, 3, 4 webinars a day, and of course, then you getting the pictures for all the bright, shiny objects, which most of them I tried to buy. So one of the things you can do to alleviate this is you need to start to get really focused in your business and be far more productive with your time. So what I did was, out of the 15 or 20 people that I was subscribed to, I really sat down and thought about which which of those emails from whatever people do I actually read. Lots came into my inbox and most of them I didn't even read. So then you have a look at the emails and see which ones you actually resonate with the most, which ones do you enjoy reading, and you look forward to the next one coming the next couple of days, and also possibly ask around the industry for other people's thoughts on those particular people, and just get a little bit of a recommendation of what kind of products they are pitching. So then what you need to do is, when you've got a list of three, an absolute maximum of four, just unsubscribe from all the rest. So you're not going to be bombarded with all the information and the noise, as we call it. You're not going to be bombarded with the products that they're pitching so that they can earn an affiliate commission, because the chances are the 2 or 3 or 4 people that you are actually subscribed to will be promoting the same product. So you're not going to miss out on any content or information. Now, the other thing too is when I came to this conclusion and I thought, well, I need to unsubscribe from this person, this person, this person, also have a look at what they are specializing in. So you're probably on the list of somebody who specializes in copywriting. You're probably on the list of somebody who specializes in lead generating and so on and so on, and traffic and solo ad providers and so forth. So have a think about what your business needs the most. Do you need to generate sales as fast as possible so that you can continue in the business? Or are you financially okay in a position so that what you want to do is concentrate on improving your copywriting and your emails? So once you've made the decision of what your business actually needs in order for you to improve your results, then just delete everybody else. Don't stay on their email list. Don't look at their products. And by the time you've done that for around 30 days, you're going to notice a change in not only how productive you are every day, how many emails that you get and that you have to go through, and also you're going to notice the changes in your business because you're only concentrating on one specific task that you actually need. So the short answer to the question after that little ramble is focus. You need to work out what you need in your business, what's most important to you, and what you're able to slip away to concentrate on something else. And then just focus on that for a good 30 to 60 days. Then you can move into a different area. You can go back to lead generating, or you can go back to copywriting. But one other point to that is to do something you enjoy. So I get to speak to quite a few people who, and some of them say, I love making videos, or some will say, I love doing webinars, and some will say, I love writing. Writing is my passion. So obviously that comes into the equation, that if you're going to make a decision on what's important in your business, that you first start with something that you enjoy doing, because it's going to make it a whole lot easier.
Yeah, that's fantastic advice. Let's look at the other side of that. Um,
Okay.
I know there's going to be people that are going to be watching this who uh, are pretty successful, and they have people that they work with.
Yeah.
How do you deter? I mean, there are those people that you want to help everybody, but there's only so much time in the day. Um,
Yes.
and then there are those individuals that come into our life that just want to suck the time out of ourselves.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
do you handle that? So many people asking for help. Um, what's the best advice you could give to someone who's in that situation where there's just too many people and they're not getting the things that they need to do done?
Okay. Um, One of the ways, the easiest way, actually, I'll backtrack a little bit. One of the most difficult things for me to work through is people that I help and offer, you know, extra hours out of my time, or extra courses or content, or, you know, anything that I go a little bit above and beyond. When they fail to take action, uh, I I feel it. I guess I feel it. And interestingly, you know, I was pointed out the other day that there's actually a difference between a coach and a trainer. So one of the ways I streamlined so many people private messaging me, asking me for help, and it got to the point where I was getting 30, 40 private messages every single day. Of course, I can't put that task onto my VA because people are asking me personal questions, asking for personal help regarding things that, you know, a VA is just a standard copy and paste kind of asset to have in your business. So what I did is I created a Facebook group and I started to put people into there. And then I also asked them to not private message me anything that was coaching questions or work related or business related, anything, you know, obviously personal stuff they don't want to put in a group, that's fine. So it enabled me to reach more people in basically one post and one click of a button. From there, I've had to understand, and my growth as a coach, I've had to work through the process that if people don't read the post and don't take action, that's completely their responsibility. So right now, there are quite a few people in my Facebook group, and there are, I think, around about 10% that are action takers. But if you ask anybody in this industry that is a coach or trainer, they will say that 10% is the standard equation of action takers in any group. So for somebody who's doing a similar kind of thing as me, or wanting to do a similar kind of thing as me, my advice would be to tell the people what you want them to do. And for me, that was, please don't private message me any questions. I can help in the group. And the second thing was just to understand that no matter how many people are in there will only be around 10% that will actually do the work or use your resources.
Let me switch gears on here a little bit.
Okay.
You mentioned earlier about mentorships,
Yeah.
and having people helping you. Um, what do you think is the best way to learn somebody who's just starting they don't know the difference from a paid lead to a free traffic, organic
Yeah.
to ads? Um, how would you tell them to go about learning this stuff? What would be the best way to do that?
The best way to do that is to understand that Google and YouTube need to be your new best friends. So, obviously, I get a lot of questions that people ask me that would take 2 seconds to look up on YouTube. And I think people forget the value of resources they have at their fingertips. So my recommendation would be to go to YouTube, go to Google first. And if you can't find your answer there, then reach out to somebody who is in your circle of influence. So either somebody who's been doing this a little while longer than you, or to, a coach and a mentor you have in your resources. But definitely try yourself first, because if somebody asks me a question, and this is nothing to do with business related, this is life related. If you ask a boss or a leader a question, they give you the answer. Okay, fine, you can continue on with that task that you're doing that day. But what happens 2 weeks later when you want to complete the task again and you can't remember what the actual answer was? So if you take the time, just an extra couple of minutes, and go and find the answer on Google and YouTube, it's that learn, do, teach process. So as you're researching and finding information, you're going to learn a lot more faster, and it's also going to stick into your mind. That's where your education begins, not just asking someone a question, getting an answer, and then, as I said, 2 weeks later, you're stuck again. So it's really important that you take this seriously and put a little bit of effort into it yourself. And then if you're still stuck, then reach out to somebody for help and explain to them, look, I've tried looking it up. I've tried my back office. I've tried support. I just can't find the answer. Because for me, when somebody comes to me and they've said all of that, that they've looked here and here, then I know that they are committed. And so, it's far more rewarding to help somebody in that position than somebody that comes back time after time with the exact same question, because our time is limited, as you know. So in order to help people, it's really, really awesome to see them helping themselves first.
Um, I'm going to ask you kind of one that is kind of close to home for you, because I know we've been on I've been on one of your Facebook groups, and we've been kind of talking about this.
Okay.
Um, how do you establish credibility and reputability in your specific niche as a marketer online?
Okay. So the way that you can establish yourself with credibility and authority. Now, this works whether you've been in this business for 2 weeks or 2 years. The very first thing is that you need to hold yourself 100% accountable and be honest and have integrity every single day in this business. I, you know, I, I get uh, what's the word? Not frustrated. It really irks me when I see leaders in my niche, in my industry, be untruthful. And I'm not talking about they're posting fake amounts that they've earned, and I'm not talking about um, what I'm talking about is somebody who posts what they want the audience to see, what they think the audience wants to hear, and then a month later you find out that that's not actually true. So I can't really go into more detail because I can't think of a way to give the example without, um, without divulging who I mean. And I'm not here to talk about individual people. I'm just trying to get the point across that you need to be truthful. Now, the other thing you can do is, as I mentioned before, there are a lot of people that don't try to help themselves, that want an easy way out. And they will ask a question, the same question in 10 different Facebook groups or 10 different areas without looking for the answer themselves. So, the best way for you to become a credible person in your industry is if you see someone asking a question and you have the time to research the question, or you may know the answer yourself, to go in and start helping other people. So as I said, a lot of people are really uh, hesitant at using Google and YouTube as an information resource. However, you can do exactly that. So you see the question, you learn the answer, and then go back and teach it to somebody else. And that's the best way, even if you're starting out, to be shown as somebody with credibility and authority in your business. Now, bit of a side note, bit of a footnote to that, you don't need to post your statistics, your sales, or your financial success, whether it's zero or whether it is, 5 figures per month. There is no need for you to do that. There is plenty of other ways that you can communicate with people and show yourself to be a person of authority without needing to do that. And for those people who are on the call and have been on the internet for the last year or two, you'll see that those posts are showing fewer and fewer anyway. So the audience, as in social media, has told Facebook and Twitter that we don't want to see those cheesy photos of people holding wads of US dollars anymore. So it's really not that difficult. It's just a matter of putting in a little bit of extra time, proving yourself that you have the answers or that you're there to help people. And one last point is to always remember that you're only one step away from the person you're talking to. So if you've been in the industry 15 days and you're talking to somebody that's in the industry 5 days, you are actually ahead of them by 5 days. So you know more than they know already. So don't be frightened to share what you know, and don't be frightened to reach out and help other people.
Great advice. Great advice. So I'm thinking about the people that have been in this industry for a while,
Yeah.
and they haven't had much success. But
Okay.
and they're getting frustrated and they're getting down and they're thinking about quitting.
Yeah.
What can you say to them to help to support the idea that they got to just keep going?
Um, that comes down to each individual person, obviously, whatever struggles they're having, whether it's the lack of support or financial issues, that kind of thing. But what I would say to that person is that every single person ahead of you, whether they're earning 4 figures a month, 5 figures, or 10 figures, whatever their results are, we have all struggled, and we all still have sleepless nights. I remember learning this last year, and it was really, really profound. I have sleepless nights. I have a good business. I'm happy with where I am. I'm have a relative level of success that is working for me, but I still have sleepless nights. And I can assure you that if you're at an event and there's 8 people on stage, every single one of those 8 people have sleepless nights as well. So it all comes down to how badly you want it and how much you're prepared to push. You know, people have different temperaments, we have different past histories. Some people give up really easily and some just fight on. But in order to make it in this business, if you're thinking of giving up, my recommendation would be to reach out to somebody or a couple of people who you regard as, you know, having more experience than you. I didn't say knowledge, I said experience, and that comes down to time in the industry, not necessarily the level of results that they're getting. And ask them if they can give you some advice or some help. And if that person you get no response, ask somebody else and ask somebody else and ask somebody else. But you also need to keep in mind that when people are very experienced and have a high level of success, you know, we do tend to be extremely busy. So if you don't hear back from us, don't take it as an affront that we don't want to get, you know, communicate back with you. Just be a little understanding, a little respectful. But definitely what you need to do is reach out, find somebody who will happily have a look at your business and see if they can help you make any changes. But honestly and truly, the only way all of us have got to where we are is by digging really, really deep, having extremely painful days, having stressful situations, having one part of our business closed so that our income has stopped, and then waking up the next day and starting again. And so, if you want it bad enough, then that's what it's going to take to be successful in this industry.
Joe, I don't know how to thank you. I appreciate you being here. Kind of segueing on what you just said. I know that you're a busy person and you have a lot of things that you want to accomplish. Thank you
No
for coming
problem.
and talking with us. I appreciate it. You gave some really good advice. Hopefully people will hear what you have to say and it will help them.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Ken. And thanks for inviting me onto the Hangout. And I feel really privileged and humbled that you thought that I would have something of value to share. So more than happy to ramble on as I tend to do. So anytime, Ken. Thanks very much.
All right. Thanks everybody for coming and checking this out. You can find information about me on breakingbonds.com. That's my webpage. And everybody, good luck.
Okay. Thanks. Bye, everybody.